Morning, Frank.
Morning.
Yeah, you're in such good form at the moment, so has it been beneficial to have a week off, or given the momentum you have, would you have been quite happy to play a game Tuesday or Wednesday?
No, I think the week's good for us because we've still got some players coming back to fitness who are fit but need training and maybe need matches too, to be fair. So, no, it's been good to have a bit of recovery plus a bit of work, let those players get fitter and prepare for the busy week we now have coming up.
You seem to be in a bit of a run at the moment where you're told every match after the game about a new record you've broken. Has it surprised you at all, the level of success and how quickly you've had such a clear impact on results in particular?
Well, I'm very happy with it, clearly. I don't know about surprise. I think I've got belief in the players and the work that we've done in a short period of time. That doesn't always translate into results. That's been the real positive of it. You know, I think we've been seeing some uplift in performance. I think we've had some challenges where we've had to be adaptable, and I think the players have reacted really well to that. We've found different ways to win games, and now we've got a fuller squad at this point. But I'm very aware that this league is a challenge always. It's always like the next game, and the next week ahead of you is a big challenge. So I'm really pleased because moving up the table means better feeling, better confidence. It's always tempered by don't get complacent, keep working, keep doing the right things, because the minute you relax, those performances and wins will stop coming. Big believer in that.
You were speaking in a podcast in the week about one of the big things as a manager is a clear and effective message. That's one of the big things for players, to simplify it. Is that even more important when you come in midway through a season to get your ideas across?
Yeah, I believe so, because I've been doing this job for a while now, at different levels, different squads, different players, and you always evolve and learn and feel like what's the best message, what's the clearest message to players, especially in the beginning. What's the priority? What do we need to get better at? I think we sort of tried to pinpoint things when we first come in, and then as you start to work, you see things within that. So we've tried to be clear. I've said it a lot here. The group are really good in terms of application and taking on message, as far as we've seen, because we're playing the games. You see things you work on and talk about. Hopefully they come off. Not all of them. There's always a room for improvement. But I think that's been the biggest positive, is actually working with the group, feeling very together on it. And there's nothing better than the players feeling it when we start getting results and start feeling uplift. Then it feels like the message is good. So, but we can't stop repeating it. We have to keep going, because the basics that we've been doing well must continue.
It promises to be an emotional day of sorts tomorrow with Mark coming back to Coventry. To your mind, is there any danger that can become a little bit of a distraction?
Well, it won't be for me. It shouldn't be for the players. Mark will clearly get an amazing reception from our fans, and I completely understand that. I'll be involved in that. You know, you can't disrespect the opposite. You have to respect every bit of work that he did at the club. I think he's a great football person who's always carried himself well. I've crossed his path a few times, and everybody will be appreciative of his time here. So I think that becomes a story of the game, but it's not 90 minutes on the pitch. And the important thing is that we, as a group, as players and staff, focus on the game in hand. And for sure, once the game starts, our fans will know who they're supporting and will get behind us, as they have done since I've been here.
As a new manager, you come into a club usually when things aren't going particularly well. That was still partly the case at Coventry, but did you ever feel any extra pressure that you are following or were following a man who brought Coventry from the abyss and had such success?
I was aware of it, because you can't not be. You know, I've followed the story from the outside, and when you in talks and conversations about having the job, you obviously consider many things. Firstly, the squad, and can you improve it and get better results? But secondly, the situation. Modern day, there's a lot of talk around appointments, and you have to understand that side of it. But it wasn't the biggest consideration for me. I've got confidence in myself. I have respect for the work that Mark did. The team at the time, you know, we're not in a position they wanted to be. All those decisions were done before me. It's not my choice. So yeah, I knew that it was something and it was a thing. But I felt like if I can come here, work well, get my head down, try and improve the team, then I'm at a good club, hopefully, that can progress. So that's just how I took it.
Therefore, then, what do you think the biggest differences and improvements are from the team you inherited to the team we see now?
That's not my question to answer. I think that would be, I come in and quickly you want to learn about the squad, and you refer back to what they have done, in the short term distance of what's the last sort of 18 months particularly have looked like with this squad as it's transitioned and become a newer squad from the sort of the playoff final squad and even the FA Cup semi-final squad. Players have come in, there's been a turnaround and transition, so I came in and just tried to evaluate the squad and where we felt we could improve it in the moment. Mark would have had his way of working, I had my way of working. He had big success here, and it's not for me to compare. Anyone else can, but it's not for me.
Thanks, Frank.
Thanks.
In fact, there's been some debate on social media among Sky Blues fans about how best to say their thank yous to Mark. Would you like to see it sort of happen at the start of the game and then get on with the match?
I generally don't mind. I don't mind. It will be that part of it will be not much consequence to me. I think they will show their respect to him as they will and should, and my focus won't be on that. That's for them to decide.
Do you think it might be a little bit awkward for him, because obviously he's got a job to do at Stoke City now?
I don't know about awkward. I think he deserves to come back and be given the reception he's going to get given, and I think that's a great thing. I think in life, when you look back on moments like that, if you're lucky enough to have them, I just think they're nice things because it's a show of the good work he did here. I'm sure Mark's considering absolutely trying to get the points that they want and need, as we do. So I think he's for sure experienced enough to not let that affect his sort of actual match mindset.
You talked about your players being on message. You do seem to have got a rapport with them pretty quickly. Were you worried that might take a bit of time because the previous manager being here so long?
No, not really, because you never know what you're coming into. You never know the relationships. What you think you might know from the outside, you don't know until you get there. All I wanted to come in was try and come in and be fair in a way, but firm with the message. And I respect any manager that I might follow or that may follow me. That's happened as well. So it will always happen in this game. So that wasn't a big concern of mine. Again, I respected the job generally, but when I got in here, I just tried to form relationships quickly because it's a big part of my job, particularly mid-season, between myself and the staff and the players and staff in the building. And I feel like we've done that, and that's not to the detriment of the manager that was here before. He would have had all his relationships.
We mentioned before that there's 8 out of 9 wins is the best since 1969-70. I actually looked it up, and one of the teams they beat that run was West Ham, but sadly Frank Lampard Senior didn't play. Maybe that's why Coventry won.
I don't think that was why Coventry. I'm pretty sure that might not have been why. Probably maybe like if Trevor Brooking or something wasn't playing, that might have been more important. But I don't know. It's twist of fate. I enjoy the run we're on, and the fact that it's some form of a record somewhere. It doesn't mean much to me other than the fact that it's got us playing well, moved us up the table, and now we're in a different position. And I think the mentality of a team that sits 5th has to be different from a mentality of a team that's 17th. There are natural things that are different, maybe less nerves, more confidence, but that can also delve into a different state. We have to now be more resilient, more focused and ruthless about the good things that we're doing, because the challenges come in Stoke, Derby, Sunderland, and then after the international break are big. So we've made big steps, but the biggest steps are to come, I would say.
I was going to ask you that actually, because you've gone from chasing a top 6 place to now holding it. Is that a different mindset?
Well, yeah, I mean, we've just got in there, so if you look at the table after Oxford, you get excited, and then when you go view it through the week, you realise that it's really close, and you realise that this league, like we've moved up it quickly, can go reverse. So our mindset has to be just focus on ourselves, because we're here for a reason. We've managed to get good form for a reason. The players are responding, we're doing well, we've got a good resilience, we're playing pretty well, but there's lots more that can be better, so we need to show that. Simple as that.
And looking at your wins, you've been winning by the odd goals. That suggests your team's found a way to win, got into the habit of winning.
Yeah, either suggest that or suggest that we don't put teams away when we can do in certain games. So I think there's good resilience in our games. Sheffield Wednesday sticks out to me in QPR probably because they were really tough matches. There are games that have been 2-1s or Watfords and Prestons that should have been clearer results for us, but we didn't get that. So that's another thing we need to improve on when we are playing well, to be more ruthless about, you know, putting our foot down again. That again, we can't have everything in a short space. So those are things we're learning, and winning is obviously the most important thing, but we can improve on that as well.
Stoke were 0-0 in the last game. Their last game. Are you expecting them to be tight?
I'm expecting them to be a big challenge because they've got good players. They're in a difficult position in the league, I would say, but this is what this league can do to you at times. It shouldn't mean that we should treat them any differently other than expecting the best version of themselves. And when a team's fighting and in that sort of position, they're always dangerous and they've always got quality. And this championship, we know of probably all the leagues that we all follow, it feels like the biggest leveler at times. You know, there are so many results week on week out that you don't expect. And that's the nature of the league. So we can't fall into any form of complacency or thought processes like what's the job in hand, Stoke, what's the difficulties, where's the strengths and weaknesses for us and for them, and then try and do our best job.
You just seen Jack Redoni. I think I saw him actually push the door open with his shoulder, but it might have been his good shoulder.
Probably.
What's the state of play with him?
Well, he dislocated his shoulder, and I'm not a doctor telling you this, obviously. It popped back in, and so from that you get some soft tissue damage around the injury. So we're hoping it's the lesser end of an injury of this type. So hopefully he'll be back after an international break, is what we're hoping, without complications going forward. So big news for us because he's quickly become a really big player for this club, and I'm a big fan of his, enjoy working with him. Even the goal where he gets the injury shows exactly what he's, the type of player he's arriving in the box, but he's got so much more to his game than that. But, you know, we've had to put up with getting on without big players in the team, so we have to get on with that again.
Would that maybe necessitate a change of system at all, do you think, his absence?
Yeah, I'm obviously not going to declare that right now, but we'll have to work around it, and we have players in that area of the pitch. It's a different profile slightly, but it will be for us to find the best solution to missing what has become a key player for us.
So Matt, you've been here a little while now, settling in nicely?
Yeah, I feel like I am, yeah. I feel like it feels I've been here longer than I actually have. Everyone's been so welcoming, staff, players, just everyone around the club. So yeah, settling in nicely, yeah.
You seem to have slotted into the way you play very quickly.
Yeah, I feel like that comes with feeling comfortable. Like I say, I've been made to feel so comfortable since the day of moving here. So yeah, I think it's easy to play the football you want to play when you're settled and you feel at ease.
Are you making the point that you're a penalty taker now as well?
No, it's I didn't want to put my name in the hat too early, but I listen. I'm one that players that goals mean a lot to them. I think they should take the penalties, and then if they don't fancy it, I'm happy to step up.
And obviously the team's doing very well at the moment. Have you been impressed with the rest of the squad?
Yeah, really impressed. I knew obviously it's a top squad from playing against them for so many years. But yeah, I knew that coming here, and when you're actually in the building, you see what great depth we've got in most positions. So yeah, it's a really top squad, and yeah, we're in a good place.
It must be a very confident training ground at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can see in our performances, even when we're not at our best, we still believe we're going to win. And I think that's vitally important in the Championship, because look, you can't be perfect every game, and when you're not, if you still find a way to win, that's a massive tool to have.
And you've got players coming back. I mean, yeah, the half playing alongside Ben Sheep in the last game, so the squad's getting stronger, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Shifo's a top player. I know that from chasing him around on numerous occasions. So yeah, it was good to get beside him, even just for a half the other day. So yeah, the more top players we can have fit and ready to go at the bat.
When you've played against a player a few times and then you're playing alongside them, does that help you sort of feel you know their game? Yeah, I feel like
it helps to settle in to the club. I mean, like I say, I've played against most of these lads a number of occasions, so I felt like even though I didn't know everyone individually, you half know who people are. So I feel like it made it a lot easier to settle, but playing with someone and playing against them is two very different things. So yeah, we'll have to build a relationship, and you form relationships every day in training and games as well. So that might take a little bit of time.
And you're in the top 6 now, so now the trick is to stay there.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, that'd be the aim.
Is it harder sort of staying there than or getting in there in the first place?
I don't really know, to be honest. To answer your question, honestly, I think look, you just gotta focus on yourself. You gotta just take the next game as it comes. The next one, like it's an old cliche, but the next one's always the most important one, and that is exactly the case now. We've got 11 games to go, and we just need to be fully focused on each one and keep ticking them off and hopefully keep getting 3 points.
I said to Efron after the last match that you're there to be shot at now, and he said, let them shoot. Is that sort of the mentality you think this team has?
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be difficult not to have that mentality when we've won 8 and 9, and that's what we just want to keep continuing. We want to just keep imposing ourselves on the opposition and keep going how we have been.
And this weekend, I mean, we're talking to the only player who doesn't particularly know the manager who's coming back. Has there been a lot of talk about Mark's return?
Not particularly inside the dressing room. I know obviously he was here for a very long time. He's very well regarded within the club. But yeah, you're right. You're talking to the probably only person in the building that doesn't know an awful lot about it.
I mean, we're expecting him to get a warm reception, perhaps at the start of the game. Won't have any impact on the match, will it? Do you think?
No. In my opinion, no. But he deserves the reception he'll get. I mean, like I say, even I know from the outside he was here through some really tough times, and he built the club up into what it is today. So he's been a part of that journey. So I think it's only right that he's showed the respect he deserves.
Because as a player, you're used to managers coming and going. You don't get too many that stay a long time.
No, for sure, and that's obviously a testament to him and what he achieved over the last however many years.
But they are expecting a 30,000 crowd, so that's going to be a bit special to play in front of, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the fans have blown me away, to be honest, since being here. The home sport and the away as well. I mean, every game we're so thankful for what they give us. It really does mean a lot when you've got that force behind you and they're dragging the ball into the goal and keeping it out of your net, and they give you that extra bit of energy to really push yourself to the very end. So yeah, the fan base is incredible here, and yeah, I'm very much looking forward to playing in front of that on Saturday.
Are you going to join Milan in one of those fist pumps anytime soon, do you think?
Hopefully not. No, it's not really me, to be honest. No, it's not really me. But I know he enjoys it. But I think if you're dragged away to do it, I think there's not much choice that you've got. But no, I'm not one for that, to be honest.
Stoke obviously fighting near the bottom of the table, and you're up in the top 6. Do you think the mindset of opponents might change? You might come up against teams like Stoke who will try and stop you playing, try and make it difficult to break down.
Yeah, I mean, every team at this stage of the season with 11 games left is playing for something, whether it's to stay in the top 6, to get in the top 6, to get out of the bottom 3, or to make a little bit more distance from the bottom 3. So everyone's playing for something, so that makes every game really, really tough. So yeah, they'll be fully up for it, I imagine, and they'll want to get the 3 points just as much as we do. But like I said, we have to just hopefully make it game about us and impose ourselves on them.
Thank you.